if I die tomorrow. I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Yeah.
Lost home. Where is he? There he
comes. There he goes.
There he goes.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Chilling.
Oh, shit. I got to get off. Kids are going to bed. I'll be back. I'll be back. Bye.
Go. Tone's on location.
That was
great.
great.
Would have been better is if he would have been like in a store of some sort. Then he could have been toned from across the mall.
There you go.
Hey, Hugo's way.
Across the parking lot. Oh man!
All right,
yes.
We're trying to find Val. She probably had a long day today, but Val, if you're out there, we love you. Please blink twice if you're out there.
Yeah. You got your favorite episode today, man. First episode was of Ashoka.
No, we have a really good episode tonight. It's not just Ashoka, but we also got Wayward Raven returning. They're in the back making fun of us right now because they got some cool things brewing up and getting ready for the con. New York Comic Con coming up.
It's been a minute.
But other than that, how is you guys? Happy Tuesday, Hugo.
Happy Tuesday.
So how was your guys' weekend? Pong, Law.
Pong, what'd you get to?
Weekend was pretty good. Did a lot of work on the rig over the weekend. Getting ready for a robot fight up in Salt Lake City, Utah. So,
ooh, nice.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
This weekend?
No. That's on October the 7th.
Oh, okay. So you got time. All right.
Oh, yeah. And you know where you can see it, of course. Twitch.tv/SynShop right down there.
There it is.
There's the plug.
There it is.
Oh, you had a busy weekend too.
I had a very, very busy weekend. So I went with Dave, aka Croc from the block, and Dave the Wave, my cousin, and we went to see his cousin, who is in a band called Gooseberry, which is a really good fucking band. Like, they fucking know how to do a show. It was like their last show of their tour that they were on. And it was a really dope time. So I took a couple shots there and got home really late. Had great food, had a great time, great conversation, catching up with everybody. Then I had a really, really fun but long day over with the guys at Sketchfed, helping Charlie film the latest short film over at CRW Films and whatnot. Have a lot of BTS footage. I think I have like 500 gigs of just BTS footage. Because I was shooting with my 6K that I gotta still go through. Oh no.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome.
Hello.
Oh, your echo is crazy right now. There you go. Yeah. Other than that, it was a fun long weekend. Went to the gym on Sunday, and then had a fun D&D session. So I am just beat. I'm lots of catching up on, or trying to catch up on sleep. Did lost to his IP yet? Oh, you mean ISP?
Yeah, your instant because they.
Yo, bro, I haven't even like I've just given up on, because like these streams have been fine, knock on wood, but like I've given up on Twitch streaming at the moment, and I just feel like I'm working on other things. So I'm like, Twitch can be on hiatus. I'm using that time more productively to do other things for now until I have the mental capacity to like try to tackle it all over again.
You know what we haven't given up on, and it's not a hiatus?
Hold on. Let's get a big up on Tone's disappointment today. Oh, the disapproval was real.
Announcements. Tone is disappointed with my announcements and segues. It's okay. It's all right. Make sure you guys are subscribing to Law's Twitch channel. I know he's on hiatus right now, but just subscribe. Give him the love. Give him the money.
I'm so close. Like, I think it's 200 followers on Twitch. So like, If you could get me over 200, I'd be fucking greatly indebted to you.
Listen, let's get him over 200 so we can then force him to switch his IP provider. Let's go. That's the goal.
To what?
I don't know. Some other shit.
Multiple internet providers. I'm telling you, man.
There you go. You got two. You can get two in the home. Make sure you're catching Val in TV Land. Val is over there on TV Land doing her thing. Make sure you guys are subscribing to Sebastian Bonet Studios over there at Patreon. Chapter 2, part 3 has already been sent to George to letter, so that's coming out soon. That's where you can read Concrete Combat. You know what else you can read Concrete Combat?
Announcements.
Over there.
Oh,
there, that's it. You messed up that segment right there. But thank you, Pong. I love you, bro. So you could also read chapter 1 of Concrete Combat over there at waywardraven.com and pick up We Suck at Comics Volume 1 anthology, which features many different different comics. Look how thick that bad boy is.
That bad boy is
it's like the 9X
5 C's. Good lord.
Comics. Yeah. She's a thick baby. So you can read Concrete Combat and other great comics in there as well. Make sure you're tuning into the Medusa's Cascade every Saturday. We got the lore episodes. We have
just dropped our lore episode. Next week we're doing, or this week coming up, we are doing a cutscene episode with one of our NPCs. I do not know anything about it. We just know it's gonna be a cutscene, and I'm really excited to see what inner workings of the NPC we're gonna get their thoughts on.
Maybe it might be Little G. Who knows?
All right, shut the fuck up. Can you hear me?
Oh my god!
Lu Cyph, check out the photos, link is in the description right there. Make sure you catch the Craze on
Fuck
YouTube.
Little G.
Yo, the way Toad came out, Toad came out like like he was like the Rock in the fucking attitude. What? Shut your mouth! Like. Nobody asked you. The animosity, right? Like,
damn. Wow. You got in the backstage?
Commenting hot.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. All right. I don't want anyone giving me any sort of opinion if you don't understand the nonsense that is Little G and the stupid Bahamas. All right.
So
opinions are like assholes, and everyone has one.
In about 20 episodes, you guys will catch up to where we are, and in 20 episodes, you guys will be like, "Oh, that's why Tom was so mad." It's also why my character spent so much time outside, because he was just like, "This shit is ridiculous."
You're just too busy laughing,
bro. I was crying. Oh my god! Thank God they didn't have my character as like a little whatever the fuck that was.
Make sure you also check us out at twitch.tv Sin Shop over there. And finally, make sure you catch the Mayhem Mike, who's in the comments right there. Catch him on the 4-Letter Nerd on Wednesdays 8 p.m. They might be talking about their time in Colorado. So let's go.
Did Little G do things with Tone's feet while he was sleeping? Hugo wants to know.
No.
You can answer that,
Tone. No. Little G is a bastardization of a mockery of a character that I love and hold dear to my heart.
And I got to play every second of that.
Too, but like that's not the reason he hates him. The foot stuff is kind of endearing, but like it's the
no.
They're both pulling out their kind of furies. So, but without further ado,
wow, that's not how that went down.
I hate everything.
Oh man!
Without further ado, that we want to welcome them back to the mayhem that is the nerds of the round. They also bring the mayhem of their own. Give it up for Alexander Sapuntzis and Mark Franco over there from Wayward Raven.
Yeah, welcome back, fellas.
I'm just sitting backstage like, what the fuck is going on?
Yo, you guys came on for a very spicy episode.
I was on stage and I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know.
Like, I hate when I'm on that fight.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's that episode is a fun episode. It was a funny episode, but again, I gotta say this is that Tone gave the best dad faces. Because Tone, he gets that he gave that dad energy. It's like, I'm gonna beat this guy's ass.
Like we for context, we saw Seabass on the call, and we were like, "Oh, is he bringing back his character?" And it was like, "No," and we're just sitting there going, "Why is he sitting in on the call then?"
Well,
and then later on, he pops up as like this random character, and Tone's face went from laughing to like, the fuck, what the fuck is this? What kind of bullshit is this? And it was just straight up like, bro, I know where you live and I want to beat the shit out of you right now.
Damn.
Oh, it was great. It was fucking great.
But I got to play a bard. I got to play a bard with and I'll wait till you guys hear it because it is a fun episode. It was fun. Worked with Tommy with putting that character together, and it was just fun. It was just all fun.
Either way, Mark, Alex, you guys haven't been here in ages. It feels like. Oh man.
Yeah.
If it's been a long time, it's longer than a long time.
Yeah. I want to say it's when we dropped the Kickstarter for We Suck.
Next month.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
because
it's done.
And you guys did. So tell us what's been going on post Kickstarter life and getting the book out and what's new.
Well, we so book 1 is done, and we're working on book 2. That is the main thing we wanted to talk about.
Nice.
We're looking for submissions now. So
You want to show that book so that people can see what they get at the website?
Well, they won't get this
Part
one
2.
because this is the limited edition hardcover version.
Ooh, that's fine. It's still thick.
Hey, what's going on, George?
Yo, George. Oh yeah. Speaking of George,
Wait, what happened? George, you in trouble now?
so George and Sebastian worked on theirs together.
Okay.
And I do a signature page to give everyone a chance to sign, but I just love the fact that George did not give any room for Sebastian to sign my book.
Wow.
Wow.
George.
Wow.
That's how you feeling, bro?
Wow, man.
Damn.
George and me gonna have a conversation, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. George was saying that's the reason why you're not coming to NYCC because of your punk.
He'll be like, "No, just write me a letter in the space I left you."
Holy shit.
Nah, but it was great because again, I give George a big shout out for that because he definitely helped with the lettering and all that, and I gotta give him big kudos. He kills it with his lettering. Does a lot of love for everybody's work, whoever he letters to work for. So if anybody's out there looking to hire a letterer, definitely you want to reach out to George Medina. You also want to pick up his comics. Wait, let's show that.
Look at that
beautiful page.
Who
Look at that beautiful
who is
page.
Wait.
Who is
You
that?
got it.
Who is that?
There we go. That's the boys.
There we go.
Yeah.
I had to. It was fun. Thank you guys for, and who knows, they might appear again in the next one.
Hey, in the building. Welcome on in, Vmac.
Hello. I'm sorry I am late. My bad.
Yo, we really thought we were gonna do the Ashoka episode without Ahsoka's #1 fan. I'm about to say, what the fuck
Bro,
is this?
that would be depressing.
A
I was
travesty.
so upset. I honestly literally got lost track of time. A lot of moving parts in life right now. So sorry.
No worries.
So for those who are wondering, that is Tone driving right now. Tone is in the car. He is not from across the hall. But
Yep,
Alex,
I'm in the car.
He's across the
You
river.
finally make it to the car?
I'm in the car. I'm in the fucking car.
Oh, okay.
So Mark, Alex,
no
tell us
stuff
about
for
what we
down
could
or
expect for number
I think it's
2.
Roll the Wilderness up.
Tell us what we could expect for number 2 for We Suck at Comics. What are you guys doing for the submissions? Because you guys have submissions open right now.
Oh, absolutely. They're open right now. And we're not going to close them until one of two things happens. It either hits mid-November or we get our page count. As you mentioned before, this sucker is thick. And we're probably going to trim that back a little bit on the next one. Not quite so many pages. Because as you can see, Alex lost all his hair trying to put this book together.
Oh, it's the hair's fault. Okay.
Yeah.
It was the book's fault. I'm sorry. It was the book's fault. Yes.
I just read one and this happened, so I get it.
But no, in all seriousness, we're really looking for submissions. We're trying to go talk to as many people as possible. and just really get the word out, because this was such an awesome book last time that we can't wait to do it again with a whole brand new theme of coloring outside the lines.
I love the theme. The themes. It's a really fun theme where you can take it. It can mean almost anything, literal or just something that's figure of speech. But I like that the submissions are open for people who want to submit art, stories, finished comics, and pretty much you really have the prose in there as well. Like in the last book, you had some prose in there, which was really dope. And again, people who could just like wants to showcase their artwork, it's a great way to showcase that as well too. So I mean, again, you guys did a great job with that last book. I was happy to be one of the people made in there. I can't wait to talk about putting that Kickstarter video together, because I have ideas, but we'll see.
I definitely want to highlight that, the difference between this book is we are taking art submissions, which means if you've got an art piece that you think fits into the theme, you can throw it in there. Where the maximum is 5. So, and the one thing I want to stress to people, it's got to be characters you own or your own creations. We had a lot of people submitting like stuff for the Flash. It's cool. Love it. Can't use it. Superman, great. Can't use it.
Right.
So,
What about characters from other people who are in the book?
As long as you own,
get the permission.
We have permission. We're good.
Yeah.
No, I mean that.
You can get Mickey Mouse to say you can throw Thor in there. Then fine. Give me.
Hey, give me my hammer.
Yeah. I've got enough cease and desist from the House of Mouse. I don't need any more. Hold on, let me hide my stuff in my background.
Well, what was the thought process of creating like issue 2, like or this Tone? You are loud as hell, bro.
I sure do hope Tone.
Damn, really? All right.
Roll up those windows. You can turn on the AC.
I don't even have the windows on. I don't even have the windows open.
That lion sound pissed,
bro. Your car just be doing that vroom vroom.
Are you on a motorcycle?
Yeah, right.
Through a wind tunnel.
So you're zooming down that turnpike to get out. I mean, I know I hear it too, but
I heard him
it's
run
fun. Try by no, but no, I think it was a great thing that you guys came up with this too, because I remember getting at different shows and everything, creative aftercons and all that. This was just something that you guys were always talking about with, let's get this anthology together. And now 1 is done, and now we got 2 coming up, which is like, it's from that it started from an idea. Now it's ballooned up into like this next volume that's just now in the works.
Yeah. What spawned doing book 2? Well, you got, first of all, to do book 1 and be like, all right, we're immediately almost jump into book 2. That's ballsy. I'm here for it. Not intimidating at all. But if you did it once, you could do it again. What was the process for it?
I think someone made the joke recently that Mark and I probably have undiagnosed ADHD. But like as we're working on book 1, we're already planning book 2, and that's kind of how we do.
Oh wow!
We're like, okay, what's coming up next? And I know I personally have that as a philosophy too. It's like always looking on the horizon, even if I'm working on something right now. And Mike and Mark and I, we always have something on the back burner. So
yeah. There's myriad projects that we're just kind of always floating around up here and whatnot. And at the end of the day, the other thing is that
I see you go. Really absolutely.
Yeah, and that really is the big thing is getting to show off the community's work, all kind of coming together to make that is the big thing. I think we like helping other folks kind of find their feet too. How
many like submissions did you have for the first book that did it? Like, what was the total before you did the cut of like, all right, now we have to cap it off?
We probably had a few. It wasn't a huge amount. Like, most folks made the book. There were some reasons that people didn't like they didn't quite fit the guidelines. Like, look, we need it to be finished. We're not gonna. We'd love to help you finish it, but like that may be down the road, right? That's as we have time to kind of go through some of that stuff, or we had a few folks kind of promise some stuff and just didn't quite make it in on this one. So hey, listen, they're free to submit the next one.
Yeah, we didn't have any hard rejections. which would have been ironic, with a book about a rejection being rejected. We're probably going to be a little bit more selective on this one, just because of the lesson we learned is the book was too big. So
That's
the kind of thing we've been talking about is if we get to a point where we're like, okay, we've got enough, we'll cut off submissions. But anybody who makes it in afterwards could probably be in the next one, considering how vague we keep our themes. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I submitted too many pages last time.
yeah. And you didn't think it would have looked like when it was printed either, would you?
I have you to thank for that. You taught me some stuff.
I know, sorry, Sebastian, I love you, but it was funny to me when he had these splash pages and there's text down the middle. I'm like, how's this gonna go in a book?
It wasn't originally designed to be in the book, so that's why it was my fault with that. But now it's speaking with George and everything. So definitely with working with the submissions, the guidelines, and then you had a very beautiful template too. So you really out of it all too. Alex was very helpful with that too, and there were some stories in there that you like, for example, JJ's story and Gorgon's story helped out with that. They needed a colorist, and you guys were definitely hands on with a lot of the people who were involved in the book, and everything. And then especially Mark with the whole when we were putting the video together for the last book. So I know that this is it's more than a passion project for you guys. This is a project because you guys have always loved comics. You've always loved creating comics. You always loved the comic community, and you always loved giving everyone who comes to see you guys. I mean, pretty sure you guys would get the shirts off your back, but then you get traded for a beer. But no, it's like you guys have always been
what a new reflective label.
There, ooh,
Ooh,
that label. Bring him up,
I got you.
Bring him up, Law. Throw that label off.
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
Ooh. Wow. What flavor is that?
Oh, that's
I love
The
it.
oohs and ahs was hilarious.
that's
Wait, what about some excited murmurs?
I didn't get a harum from that guy.
You watch your ass, you.
Listen, I mean, that's another thing too. Mark, you guys had a great weekend too, because I saw the Instagram. You guys were brewing beer this weekend.
Yeah, we made a fest beer coming to you soon for Oktoberfest. And maybe just a convention in New York City that happens to be in October or something.
Oh, you don't say. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
If you run into us in October, ask us about the beer.
Yeah.
Wink, 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 wink.
Very heavy implied winks.
So for those who are listening and watching now, where can they submit their work to be considered for volume 2 and possibly for any future volumes when it comes down to Wayward Raven and We Suck at Comics anthology?
Yep. But yep. Alex is pointing out.
Alex he has it in there.
Front page, bang, right there.
WaywardRaven.com. You can't miss it. There's going to be a big thing that says We Suck at Comics Volume 2, and there's going to be a button. Find out more.
You could miss it, but you could miss it, but you have to I don't know, read a website like a storm.
You got to be like this on the website. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm matching buttons.
There we go. This
Actually,
Star Wars
I'll
right
hit
there.
it if you do that anyway.
So guys, check it out. We Suck at Comics. You can get volume 1 at their website. And if you are a creator who wants to submit a story, who wants to submit a comic, who wants to submit artwork for fitting with the theme that they have coloring outside the lines, make sure you go to waywardraven.com, do your submission right there. Again, if you don't make it into the book, don't worry, just keep on. At the end of the day, Mark and Alex and Josh, who is the third man on the band, who these guys are very approachable. They're always looking to help. They're always looking to teach people too on comics and all that when you meet them, and they're just chill dudes. Again, built a great friendship with these guys. They haven't gotten rid of me yet.
We're all right.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
They haven't tried to bury me in the back of Alex's yard yet.
Not yet.
And they smell great. They
This is
smell
down- this is
fantastic.
very
It's like
accessible.
sandalwood. It's awesome. And if you're short on cash, they'll give you $5. Just ask them. They're amazing.
Ask me for money. See what happens.
Listen, you guys just pay me in beer. That's it. You know how it goes.
There you
go.
All right.
Man. So we're on into the next event of the show, which you guys are ready for, because
how excited are we to talk Ahsoka? I almost want Val to do that, like spoiler warning.
No.
Let's get into it. You sure?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't have nothing prepared for that. No. I just want to talk about it. Let's go.
What's the spoiler?
Wait, what's an Ahsoka?
Don't hurt my heart like that. Don't hurt my heart like that. How dare you?
I was
tearing her
like,
mongrels
you
out.
better
Come
watch
on.
it together, or I'm watching it without you.
Right, exactly. I ain't waiting on nobody. Oh my God, it's so good. So first of all, I have to say, this because of my love for Rebels, this was so freaking good. Tie-in to everything that I saw. It was so nostalgic. Like, oh my God, Lethal. Oh my God, it was just everything that I saw was just so. It was done so well, and the way it starts off to the end of the second episode, it was just goosies all around. I was super excited throughout the whole thing. It was just so good, so good. It was so good. Best Star Wars show. Better than, for me. What was the one with the guy from Rogue One?
Oh, Andor.
Yeah, better than Andor for me, Star Wars wise.
I can see that.
Best Star Wars show so far. I mean, so good.
Even Mando?
Yes. I don't give a fuck. It was better than Mando.
Wow.
Yes.
I was coming from a different direction. I never saw Rebels. I didn't watch it, but I was a big fan of the Timothy Zahn stuff and Thrawn and Heir to the Empire and all that run.
Yes.
So for me,
absolutely.
I'm like, okay, what are they gonna do with this? So like, it took me a minute to recognize some of the characters, but I'm recognizing some of the story elements that they're throwing in from the Zahn stuff. So I'm like, okay, let's see what happens.
I can't wait.
Actually, I have something on that. So I also never saw Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was watching episode 2 again. I watched it
Mike.
last week, but I was watching it again today just before the show. And I came upon a realization, gross. But I came upon a realization, and that realization was, I now understand what it would be like to watch a Marvel movie without having seen Civil War.
Yeah.
If I hadn't seen Civil War and then watched Thor and then Guardians and all the other, all the movies that came after that, I'd be like, wait, this is supposed to be a big thing. I can tell because the music came. Oh, there's the thing from the thing, but I've never seen the thing. So why is this? You see what I'm saying? So now I understand it from the perspective of someone watching a Marvel movie without seeing Civil War.
Yeah, I didn't even know who Sabine. I didn't recognize Sabine until like that scene where she's like on her mural, and I was like, wait, is that? Oh, okay.
Wow.
Because I'd never seen Rebels,
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I recognized. I think I vaguely recognized
Hera Syndulla.
the Twi'lek lady.
Hera Syndulla.
I recognized her, I think. And then like the rest of it was kind of like I felt like I was missing something, like you were saying. But no, it was a good episode. It definitely introduced the characters, I thought, very well.
Yeah.
It's for me. So again, understanding this is that I could see how some people probably would feel lost, definitely, because if they haven't seen Rebels, but I also felt that it was a good jumping point on for some people to be introduced to these characters in a new arc in their lives. Only because it's like, again, they did such a good job with reintroducing Ahsoka with Rosario Dawson in Mando, that I think it really helped people to like, okay, this character was in Mando, and now we're getting to see more of like, her background and everything, and this probably can't lead people to go back, you know what, let me go watch that Rebel series. I think I'll do what was it, the general, the Twi'lek, what's up with the green lady?
Mike is coming in hot today.
Mike's funny. What was her name again, Val?
Hera Syndulla.
Didn't she appear as a young girl in Bad Batch?
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
So it's like,
that was her?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the little girl that she bonds with in Bad Batch.
Oh shit!
That makes more sense now. Okay.
Yes. And
Wait, so Oh wow, I forgot. Yeah, Bad Batch took place that long ago.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool, interweaving a lot of people's stories. So it's like
I didn't even pick that up.
That brings the nerd out.
When she popped up, I was expecting her to have that overly done French accent. So that I was probably in my mind. I recognized it before I realized.
She doesn't have it in the show in Rebels. Like it's more done in Bad Batch because she's much younger. But when she leaves, she starts to adopt a more. She doesn't have that thick of an accent like her parents do.
Okay.
So I got to tell you, I have a little bit of a weird opinion. I also haven't seen Rebels, and I actually felt like it was easy, seamless to hop right in.
Good.
And
I'm glad.
Yeah, I liked it because of that. Because I'm like, look, I think if you go into like any good show, there's things that are assumed, right?
Yeah.
You never really start a show at the real beginning. You start like somewhere in the middle, right? And that's kind of like where I felt like I jumped in. I'm like, okay, I'll probably go back and watch Rebels, but I'm probably going to watch this through first, and then I'll go back and go, okay, let me see how this all developed, rather than, kind of go back and know everything. I don't want to go into it that sort of,
You guys, it's good to see a different perspective because I'm super invested with watching everything else, right? And so I'm glad that it didn't go over you guys, even though you haven't seen. You still was able to enjoy it and get pieces together. So that's good.
I enjoyed it a lot.
I think where we're coming from is like we're so used to the old school expand the universe that a lot of it's like, wait, no, that doesn't make sense because of that's not canon anymore. Oh yeah, that's not canon anymore. So even when the orange lightsaber showed up, I'm like, wait, no, that's not canon.
That's my reoccurring unpopular opinion on. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that's my reoccurring unpopular opinion here. I am constantly reminded of how glad I am that I don't have any history with almost any of this stuff. Marvel stuff, Avengers stuff, all the Avengers stuff, X-Men stuff, DC stuff. I've never read the comics, not one. And so when I come into the movies, I can enjoy Morbius.
No, I think you're alone on that one.
No, he's not alone.
No, I'm not.
You're that guy who stops by our booth and goes, I don't read comics. What is all of this stuff in front of you?
Get the fuck out.
Right.
The person who asked who's Stan Lee.
So coming into Star Wars without the wait from seeing the rest of the backstories was refreshing. Absolutely.
It was.
Right.
So I agree with Mark. And then yes, I love the white lightsabers.
Yes.
Holy
in the
shit.
very beginning, when she tosses that on the floor and she does the circles, which is an exact same move that she does in Clone Wars, it's just very reminiscent like how they piece certain parts of the animated series into the show and in her character. The way she acts as well as an adult version, more matured version of her, they capture the character animated into her new role, and also you see the maturity in her. So I think that they did such a great job. Rosario Dawson, I love her so much.
She's the best.
Valen Skull, oh my god, the Jedi who they find out that he used to be a youngling and now he was probably, well, we don't know if he was.
Ray Stevenson. Oh my god.
Real name.
Ray Stevenson is
Valen Skull's character. First of all, I see where he's more of a sympathizer of the Jedi Order. He is not fully a the word is leaving me. What's the?
He's not Sith.
Yeah. There's the word Inquisitor. Thank you.
Oh.
He's not. He was never fully an Inquisitor, and I'd like to see more. I'm hoping they give us more of that story, and being able to see his transition and why he is where he is, or at least a little bit of it. I'm just looking forward to how they play that out.
Wait, is that something that came out in episode 3? Because I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't seen episode 3.
Episode 3 hasn't come out yet.
Yeah,
that's tomorrow.
Where did they show that he was a youngling?
When the droid identified his saber, because
Hu Yang said I recognize the saber, the hilts of the saber. The other one I've never seen before, and it looks like a master apprentice, like kind of like similar style. Right. But this one, he was like, I can't not remember this hilt.
It's Valen Skull. So he was definitely a youngling.
He was definitely a youngling.
You wouldn't have had a lightsaber. Yeah.
Getting some feedback there.
Can you guys hear me?
Feedback there.
We can hear you, but we're
being
hear you.
repeated.
We can hear you.
Fucking God. Okay.
Tone from across the canyon.
Tone from across the canyon.
It's even better with the echoes.
Come in and come back.
Come in and come back.
Or just mute it when you're ready.
Just mute it when you're ready to. Oh man,
I sound like shit.
I sound like shit.
Oh God.
Echo.
Tone, come out and then come back in.
Oh, he muted himself. Okay.
Yeah, it for me it's so this series has been it felt like I wasn't watching a show. Those first two episodes, it felt like an action flick. It really felt like and it did something too that's very interesting, and I want you guys. I hope you guys could see this too. Is that it's also done something interesting that we haven't seen in any of the Star Wars series that Dave actually talked about. There's another universe outside of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other galaxy, right?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty dope because it now feels like what this show is doing is that it's opening up more to be outside the box.
You still got echoes?
The universe.
No.
Nope.
No. You're good.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
they make the reference that it could be time and space into another galaxy because of what Ezra did at the end of Rebels, the Purgle coming in. I don't know if you guys noticed when they activated the map, Balin, the witch, when she activates the map in the sky, you see Purgle. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a good call and then you hear also the sound of them. They kind of like hints at that. So, and that's exactly where Thrawn is supposed to be, as well as Ezra and whatever it happened at that point in time where they disappeared too. So I'm looking forward to seeing Thrawn's resurgence, seeing where Ezra is. It's gonna be really good.
Mark, Alex, I want to tag you guys in with resident Star Wars gurus. Mark, you want to lead off? What are some of your thoughts with these first two episodes? What were you taking from it, and what are you excited about?
Sorry, say that again.
Hold on. Yeah, mute your tone. Hold on.
Across the ocean.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Mark.
Sorry, so like what I like, what am I excited about? I mean, look, I think the cast is awesome. I really enjoyed that. I think that's and I don't know, this didn't go lost on me. I don't know if anybody else, but I mean, most of your leading characters are female. They're really, and it plays well, I think. And so, particularly with, obviously your lead. So I like that. I think that they're doing more with that, and I like that. I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to bitch and moan about it, but frankly, I'm real cool with it, and I want to see where they go with it. It took me a minute to figure out that Tennant was, and I went, oh, okay, hold on a sec. I saw his name. I didn't see him, and okay, gotcha. And I really like that, and actually, I told my kid about it.
A sassy Scotsman, come on.
Yeah. I
should have known. I should have known.
That's a really good David Tennant impression. Oh wait, no, that's him.
But I told my kid about it. She was pumped about it too. So I don't know. I might have made a mistake there. She may want to, say, okay, you can't watch this without me. So, we'll see. But again, I mean, as far as like looking forward to, I'm looking forward to just enjoying it with fresh eyes. I mean, I just want to see something new, different, and surprise me, right? And so that's kind of why I'm glad to some extent I haven't watched Rebels and stuff like that. So yeah.
Building off what Mark just said, like I feel the same way. Like I'm really glad that we're getting away from the freaking Skywalkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we're telling other stories. There's like this huge galaxy, but we always end up on freaking Tatooine, and it always has to do with one stupid family in the whole flipping galaxy. But yeah, so basically, like like Mark was saying, it's so nice to see new parts of it, and not necessarily even the fancy parts, right? We got a little bit of that, I guess, with Andor, but we're seeing like street level stuff, like the very. That's one thing that Star Wars always excels in, from my point of view, is that lived-in world look. Like it's got such this deep lived-in world vibe. You know what I mean? Like this ex-Mandalorian who's also a Jedi who also does graffiti work and rides a motorcycle. It's like, that's cool. And it didn't look. The other thing I liked really a lot, I'm rambling, but the other thing I liked a lot was the motorcycle bits fit into the universe too. It wasn't like the mod people from Book of Boba Fett.
Oh God! Oh my God! Yeah.
But they made it fit in with the universe, and it's really, really cool.
I agree with you in that I love that it's something totally different. It's out there. There's the problem with a lot of what we've seen with the movies and stuff like that is we have an expectation, right? Or we already know where it's been. And Alex will back me up on this. It drives me crazy. I hate when they go back, right? Oh, let me tell you how we got here. I don't give a fuck how we got there, right? Let's give me a good story. And so to have characters that I have no fucking idea what's going to happen with, awesome. I am all in.
Yeah, I mean, and to Pong's point too was that when you mentioned the mod guys back in Book of Boba, they really didn't fit in Tatooine. They didn't fit like what we saw there. It just felt like it was just something that they put there. Whereas everything we're seeing right now
I feel like they would have fit in was it Coruscant?
They would have fit.
I disagree with you that I feel like the mods fit into Star Wars. Tatooine probably not.
Tatooine not. Tatooine was not the place. If they were like dirty bikers.
Well, actually, no, I kind of take that.
I mean, not the shiny looking brand new. Like if they were dusty, rusty, sandy, rusted down, I think it would make more sense.
Well, I now that I'd say that, I kind of don't agree with that because I remember there's a couple of if you've spent any time outside of the country, there's like certain communities where I'm not going to say third world, but this is where there's a little more rundown where like that is a status symbol. Like I remember like back in the day in Greece, like even on the islands in the middle of fucking nowhere, there's like guys who like souping up their motorcycles and stuff. And so I could almost see, maybe not exactly Tatooine because it would be impossible to maintain that shit. But I can see like some of the more rundown parts of the city having guys like the mods because that's a status thing, like having that flashy gang there. So it and
they're younger also gang wise. They're probably putting more care into probably on it all the time, like a Harley gang kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So like,
I didn't hate it. It just didn't fit where we'd like it. I mean,
Tatooine, it would have been. Oh, that would have been like a like a never-ending battle against sand and gunk in your. But like Coruscant, I would make sense.
I think we all hate sand at this point.
It's rough, it's coarse, it gets everywhere.
Yeah, that's with mannequin with.
The worst.
Yeah, I think for me though, it was like, I mean, I'm coming to it from the point where like I'm finally happy to know that Thrawn is coming in live action.
Yeah, but it's also the Thrawn series is very different from what we're gonna get on the show. At least that history that we know isn't. Rebels kind of gives us a different history of Thrawn's reign than what we know in Throne, Heir to the Throne.
Heir to the Empire, but
Heir to the Empire.
I recognize that coming in, but just for me, like knowing who's playing him and knowing what he's capable of, and just for me, that's exciting just to see this version of Thrawn. But I'm also really excited about the idea of finally seeing Dark Jedi in some form. Jedi that are a little different.
Yeah. Like, they still hold more of that morality.
Question. Yeah. Because there's this whole thing, and I've seen it be debated tooth and nail that there is not such a thing as a gray Jedi.
Not true.
That's not true at all. We've
seen two so far.
So wait. Because I firmly believe that they are, and I love them, and I would love it for it to be a thing. But like, there's people who like, it's been confirmed that it's not. It's like it's possible because the way the Force works, and I'm just like, but why not? Like, technically, I feel like Mace would have been that if Mace
Mace was a pimp Jedi. Yeah, he was a pimp Jedi.
Not a great Jedi.
He wasn't, but I feel like he could have been because I feel like he still tapped into certain parts for some of his power. No,
because he still leaned on the light side.
Yeah.
But Qui-Gon was probably the biggest gray Jedi because he believed in the living force. And he wasn't going straight into dabbling in the dark, but he viewed the force as neither light nor dark. The force just is the force.
Right.
And Ahsoka is the other one who I would classify as a gray Jedi too, because she kind of renounced the Jedi Order, but she didn't fall to the dark side.
Right.
So that's why I think it's a breath of fresh air with this series, and why I'm really loving it is because the way, again, it feels like it's setting up a lot more outside parameters that we've been limited, I feel, with a lot of the previous shows that we've gotten so far, because a lot of them I feel like they've just been pigeonholed to really stick to one thing, and that they're like, okay, we have to make this fit the next set of movies that came out that no one really liked. I feel like this is something that this show is allowing for whoever's coming in to now start directing new Star Wars content to start to actually branch out into a lot of new stuff. So like you're saying, we may get different versions of Jedi, we may get different versions of Sith Lords, we're definitely going to be I'm very interested in seeing if they're going to make that leap and go into this different galaxy, and if they're all going to follow and see what adventures they're going to get in there, and get away from the whole like rebels trying to build this new government. Let's see like what's going on in these next galaxies.
We know the government's going to collapse because of the prequel trilogy. But the one thing that I'm like that really pissed me off about the prequels, and not the stuff that everyone's pissed off about, is in the expanded universe we had, going back to the Dark Jedi and Gray Jedi, there was the introduction of a new Jedi Order, in the sense of Luke saw what didn't work in the past and tried something different. And that's one thing that the movies just wiped away. They're like, okay, he's just doing the exact same thing. Because in the expanded universe, Luke got married. He had children. He has descendants. And by the future of the Star Wars universe, there's the Imperial Knights. There's like this constant back and forth of like, well, what if you had Jedi but they weren't afraid of the dark side? Or what if you had people who look like Sith Lords or the Empire, but they believed in good? And like, there was this rich tapestry of like different Force users in the expanded universe that they just wiped away for the Disneyverse. And I'm happy that like we're gonna get to see maybe something like that here. I just hope that if they go to another galaxy, we don't get the Yuzong Vong, because I don't know if I want to see that shit.
Can we talk about the fiction part though? The huge highway Sabine rides on, and not a single other speeder on the car or nothing.
Everyone was at the parade. Everyone was at the parade.
I was like, there's everyone at the parade. I can kind of get it. Everyone was there. I thought that was really dope because we got to see the it was like that pseudo Akira like slide.
It was Top Gun.
They all had to go to the parade where they were celebrating not paying all the graphic artists as much money.
What? What did I come into?
Sabine and her empty highway.
Sabine was on an empty highway.
So about light and dark.
We were anyway by saying they were at the event, and I was saying jokingly that the event was to celebrate not paying a bunch of graphic designers.
So quote me if I'm right or wrong. The Inquisitors are just force
sensitive people who work for the Empire.
In the expanded universe, they would have been called Sith Inquisitors.
Yeah,
the Sith Inquisitors are not full Sith Lords,
right?
Too, but they're dark side users who believe in the Sith philosophy, but they've not been trained as the Sith version of a Jedi.
I got a very important question for everybody on the panel. This is a very, very, very important question.
Yes.
How many of you guys want a loft cat?
Oh, yeah.
Really, bro? That's the important question?
My cat was just staring at the screen. She's like, what is that? What is that?
Oh my god! They always come up with some. So what was it?
Is it going to be Porgy or the Porgs? And then I really thought they were going to double down on those Crystal Fox things from what was it, like episode 8 or something like that?
So So I like that these creatures that they made them. I like that it was all practical effects. It was no real special effects with that. It was all practical. Made the cat.
I'm not
look real.
surprised because it's still the same like studio who like joined up with
It's Filoni and Favreau. They're gonna do practical.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love it. Again, and we had Mr. Krabs, who was the head of the Senate over there, in that
listen. Everyone, so he's Mr. Krabs to some people. He will always be my Lex Luthor.
Yes.
We'll talk about the one and only Clancy Brown.
Oh,
yeah, he is a phenomenal actor.
Listen,
Yeah,
always be my Lex Luthor.
So I want to ask you guys:
the character he's playing is also the person who he voiced in the Rebel series.
I didn't know that.
Oh no way! That's dope.
Yeah, yeah, because I believe he was a general. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Governor Ryder Azadi.
Yeah, they saved him because he was living in like exile on Lothal. In the Rebel series, they saved him and then got him back into. They're building their Rebel little front and getting the Empire off of Lothal.
Nice. I just expected him to be the bad guy.
No.
Clancy Brown's in this. He's probably the bad guy. But he's going to be awesome.
For Mr. Krabs, I mean, it's crazy that he has that range when it comes to voices, because when they showed that he was Mr. Krabs, I was like, this guy? I was like, holy shit.
You didn't recognize him from the jump? Like, I can tell who he is from the moment.
Yeah, it's so much like, yes, he has the range, but also he has such a recognizable voice. It's hard not to go, oh shit, it's Clancy Brown.
Yeah, it's just that's the one that throws me off. That one voice he does for Mr. Krabs. Everything else, I'm like, oh, it's Clancy Brown. Let's go. Everything else, I'm like, Mr. Krabs. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, he played Long Fang on the Avatar series.
Mm-hmm. The Avatar series had they did like an anniversary little montage of like actors you didn't realize were in Avatar, and it was a long list. Yeah, everyone forgets he was Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
yeah,
going back to this lovely show, what were things that actually? I'll ask this for Val, because Val's been the Rebels head. Was there anything about this show that they adapted or like they went into that surprised you in how they approached it?
Yes. Sabine being Ahsoka's apprentice. I was surprised at that. I don't know if you guys can hear me because my screen just went black. Okay. Computers being a little ass today, but
Technical Tuesday.
Sabine being Ahsoka's apprentice was weird to me because that was never something that happened in the show, or even hinted at. The fact that she was wielding the saber, she's never identified as Force sensitive in the Rebel series. So I don't know if she will be Force sensitive, because Hu Yang hints at the fact that she was not, or not good at it, at least. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they're going to go that route. She may have just.
You have to be Force sensitive to like wield a saber, but you can't.
You don't have to be Force sensitive.
Not to wield a saber.
Really?
Yeah, you just gotta be able to know how to use it.
Yeah, Din Djarin.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you had to be Force sensitive to use a saber.
No, the dark saber.
Interesting. Oh well, yeah, that makes sense. Cause in my head, I forget that the dark saber is
technically a lightsaber.
Lightsaber. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you also had Grievous.
I think General Grievous wielded several
to use a lightsaber.
You're right. Absolutely right.
I don't think that Hu Yang was telling the truth on that with Sabine.
Well, he said he was one of the worst Force sensitive. So I don't know if she actually has Force sensitive, because it's not something that was ever used in the Rebel series.
But here's what I'm saying, though. I think that he's trying to goad her into being like, "Oh yeah, you don't think I'm Force sensitive? Well, look, I got so much Force. Look at all my Force," and then start doing the thing, right? I think he's trying to goad her into following the path of the Force and whatnot.
Yeah,
right. Don't get me wrong. I'm here for it. I'm interested to see where they take that side of the story. Right. I would love to see Sabine, who's also a Mandalorian, be somewhat trained in the Jedi art. So that'd be an interesting take. Mm-hmm. But it's something that I was surprised on that was different from the Rebel series.
So I want to ask everybody this, because this was.
I'll be back. Oh, so annoying.
So I want to ask everybody this and weigh in on this too. Is that fight scene on the planet in the pier? I want Mark, Pong, and Alex to weigh in on this. How did you guys feel about that fight scene when it was happening, the action sequences and everything in that fight scene? It was pretty fun.
Yo, first of all, before we even jump into the pier fight, because before the pier fight, we had the fight with Sabine and those droids. That was a crazy good fight because it was her and the apprentice, the other apprentice too. That was fucking insanely dope. When you said that, it made me think of the Matrix when the Oracle tells Neo, yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I absolutely agree.
I mean, don't forget that Droid's been teaching Jedi kids for so long. He probably has a couple tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The pier fight specifically. This goes to show how many Star Wars video games I've been playing because I'm like, you could just force pull that damn thing. What the hell? Why is it getting away from you? You can just force pull it.
I was actually wondering that too.
They did that who is actually strong enough to do that though?
I mean, outside of like one of the Skywalkers or Starkiller. Like, well, that's the thing. Like, force.
Because I don't even think Obi-Wan could do something like that.
Well, force powers are so all over the place when it comes, depending on who's telling the story. Like, they can do everything from like subatomic manipulation to like pulling down Star Destroyers, depending on how strong in the Force they are. But I was just like, I'm like, okay, it was still a very nicely choreographed fight. All the fight scenes I thought were really fun. But then there's just like, you know, me being me, I was like, well, they could have done this, that, and the other thing a little different. There was actually a question I got for you guys, though. I thought it was interesting that one, I'm going to just call him Storm Shadow, the apprentice that's all in the mask and everything like that.
He was an Inquisitor.
Yeah, he's definitely an Inquisitor because he has the
saber, the dual saber.
But I thought it was interesting that he's masked.
Right.
And he has no dialogue. And something I read this rumor on social media that I'm like, yo, what if that's Ezra?
I thought that.
Yo!
I was like, imagine Ezra's been there the whole time.
That would be fucking nuts.
And he's on a mission to find Thrawn also because he lost him and failed and probably had to hide himself because of this and became an Inquisitor to find Thrawn. And then he's really been helping Ashoka the whole time to get to
what if he's
follow
like
them.
Brainwashed?
Nah, I think it's I don't think he's brainwashed. I think it's been an undercover thing. He made.
Imagine though, that would be fucking crazy.
Well, because the other thing I was thinking about is being that like Heir to the Empire has like a cloning subplot.
Yep.
What if he's a clone of Ezra? Mm. But I feel like that might be a little too sci-fi for Star Wars. But
no,
I'm willing to bet money that is some way.
I literally thought that watching it. I'm like, why is he masked? Imagine he's Ezra. And I'm like, the fact, especially when he was fighting Ahsoka at the end, and the way he tossed his saber and then brought it back, she was like, G-mode just moved out the way kind of thing. It was intended.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, it could be that he's totally leading her to Thrawn for a reason and drawing that out for a reason. I mean, it would make sense. I wouldn't be surprised if they pieced that way.
Yeah, that's the feeling I got. I mean, Mark and Pong weigh in on that one.
On the pier fight?
On the pier fight and that whole thing of if that's possibly Ezra, the Storm Shadow looking Snake Eyes guy.
Snake Eyes, that's what it is. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think it's a great guess. I mean, I've been wondering who he is too. I mean, granted, again, I don't have some of the backstory, so to me, I'm kind of waiting for it to come out. You know what I mean? But yeah, I did love that little dodge move too. I thought that was pretty freaking cool. Although there was the piece of me that was like, okay, and now go freaking bring the ship down. You know what I mean? I don't know. Toss your damn lightsaber and something. I don't know. Like I kind of felt like, but I think that's part of it too. They want that tension, right? They want you to keep moving on to the next one because it's too early to solve now. You gotta string this out.
Yeah, the force pull thing. Who was it that did it? The last series that came out, I think wasn't that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series where they pulled the ship and.
I don't remember Obi-Wan, but I remember it was in
It was
Rise
Ray.
of Skywalker. Ray pulls.
It was
the ship
Ray.
when-
She pulls the ship down when she was trying to save Chewbacca, and it ended up blowing up.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about there. I'm talking about in one of the shows. They were in like the underground rebel base, and somebody was trying to fly away, and I thought Vader was coming.
Anakin.
Vader pulled one
it?
down in Obi-Wan. There you go. Okay, so it was Vader. Got it.
Yeah, Vader got it.
Vader's got that power.
Yeah, like your soul is mine.
So as far as the fight on the pier, I kept coming back to, my God, they did such a great job on Rosario. I actually looked up what it's called, on Rosario Dawson's Montrals, Montrals, the big head stuff.
Her headpiece.
Those are called Montrals, and they did such a great job on that. Like every time the light catches them, you see the texture on them. Like, damn, like those look like they grew out of her head. It's crazy.
I like the little creases. Like part of the foam is creasing, but I'm like, no. At her age, maybe those might be like wrinkles or like lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure, my mantras are up here.
I just love the so far, like the fight choreography that we've seen.
Yeah.
Like going back to even like the very beginning, the first episode where we see Balin and Shin go into the ship, and they're just there, like everyone's getting shot at, and they're just like
very much gave Vader vibes there.
But I want to talk about how casual they were. Just like, oh, y'all shooting us, whatever. Balin's over here force choking people out, and just like, yo, I got you, fam. Like, I like the levels of I don't give a fuck who you guys think you are, but I'm gonna show you who I am. Respect on that man right now.
The man's like, my papers. Here's my fucking papers.
Yo, he's like, I assure you, I is certainly no Jedi. I was like, oh shit.
That definitely set the tone for those characters right there. When they walked in on that ship, it's like, oh, something's about to go down.
That boy's about to be a problem.
Call their bluff.
As soon as the captain was like, let's call their bluff. I was like,
yeah. This is why you know their government's going to collapse.
Yeah. This Andor is basically about showing how, you know, I guess you could even go as far as to say pride comes before a fall, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're all feeling comfortable, they're all fat and sassy, and things are about to go sideways, and they don't.
Well, we see it at the docks with where they're like, oh, well, you know, if they're paid, they're fine. It's like, this seems sus. This seems sus as all hell.
Well, you got homeboy from the house working the dock, so you know it's shady.
Bro, the minute he was like, oh, I don't have clearance to see that, but somebody above my thing asked me for, and I was just like, oh, it's about to go down. Who's shooting first? What's happening?
She was like, bitch, do you know who I am? I'm the general.
Oh yeah, she was like, you need clearance. I have clearance. Show me that shit. I was like, I fucking love you. Marry me, please. I respect all of your authority.
Respect my authority.
Oh man.
Yeah, my internet is not being my friend right now.
They're force choking your
internet. No. Oh no. Tone is there quiet. We haven't called him because he keeps having audio issues. Tone, you want to weigh in before we just keep diving into this barreling conversation? This conversation?
Yeah. What do you want me to weigh in? What do you want me to weigh in on?
Thoughts on this? Thoughts on your the series so far?
Sure. Don't say anything because then you're gonna hear yourself. So just let me finish the thought, and then I'll go back on mute. It's fucking sad. I am very much enjoying the show. I think it opened up with a banger in this reverse Phantom Menace, end of Rogue One sort of feel. I was definitely in it. I like how we're going deeper in the lore of the Jedi with Dark Sisters, all of this stuff. So I think it's gonna be really interesting and on where we go. I really can't wait to see Thrawn, and like you and like most of you, I think I was reading a bunch of rumors how Jedi Cobra or Jedi whatever his fucking name is either Ezra, or some people even throwing in Star Killer if we were going to bring in Star Killer, and then other people were like, it's Cal from the video games. So like people are throwing a bunch of names around.
Oh my God! It better not be Cal.
It better not be Cal. Sorry.
No.
But yeah, no, I'm liking what we're seeing. I'm curious as to what the fate of Ahsoka will be after this, and if this is going to lead to Dave Filoni's Star Wars Adventures movie, where they take on Thrawn, because I do think Thrawn is being set up as the big bad. And when he connects all of his characters into an ensemble film. But give me more of these gray, dark Jedi, because I think it's been a while since we've seen Jedi in evil Jedi or evil Sith in the post original trilogy world that were not Ben Solo or the Praetorian Guard. So, and give me more of that.
There you go.
Sorry. If it's Cal, I'm gonna flip my wig. Oh, it's so great.
Because I haven't even played the games, but I like he said Cal, and I was like, oh my God, because Cal, that's canon. Like I forgot that's canon.
I want to see him in this series.
If they throw in Starkiller and remake Starkiller to be canon, I would lose my shit.
I don't know if it's gonna be. Well, I don't know. I feel like that's too much of a stretch. I think Ezra is probably more likely.
I don't think they'd do it, but if anyone could do it, it's fucking Dave Filoni. Because
Dave Filoni and James and John Favreau, they'll fucking throw like Vince Vaughn in it or some shit too.
No, I legit think they would throw in Sam Witwitter to do it.
Yeah.
They literally be like, oh yeah, you literally were the mocap for Starkiller when you played Starkiller, so I'm gonna need you to be an older Starkiller. Go redeem yourself. Let's go.
I feel like Snake Eyes is gonna be someone not Starkiller. I feel like Starkiller, they'll probably bring him in some other form of way. Be like, yeah, he was in isolation or something. I don't, because
well, there's but so much you can depending on where you are in the series. There's only but so much room you have left before you can introduce them, and then the other newer series takes off.
But you also have
it's got to be somebody from Rebels, because this is basically the sequel to Rebels. The only exception would be, since both Boba Fett and specifically Mando have been involving cloning young Jedi subplots. The only exception would be a clone of somebody else, which ties in to the Heir to the Empire story. So if it's a clone, who would it likely be a clone of? I mean, Luke Skywalker would be fucking awesome, but that would be kind of unnecessary.
Right.
It's happening.
Can they do what's his name? Who was the dude who got brainwashed? He went from Jedi to Sith back to Jedi.
In which
Revan?
Revan. Yes.
Revan, yes.
Revan, but that's old.
Yeah, that's
old Republic.
They couldn't clone him.
I'm sorry.
They couldn't clone him though.
No. I'm sorry. We're not going to do some bastardization pseudo second Revan when we haven't even got the original Revan. Nah, fuck that.
That's like 3,000 years ago or something like that.
Right? I'm with Pong and Mark. I'm just waving my head and nodding.
Yeah, those are words. I know some of those. Yeah,
I've heard the names before, but I'm like, damn.
No. Hear me out. It's Grogu, but grown up.
I love the idea of it being Vince Vaughn. Like, hey, how you doing? I'm Ezra. Yeah.
See, I had the perfect person.
It's Jar Jar.
No, it's Sebastian from Damn Heroes. He got cloned somehow.
I thought you were going to say from Little Mermaid.
For those who are counting, that's the comic that Mark and Alex do, who have a lead character named Sebastian.
And we've thrown a couple Star Wars references in there, so it's canon.
I'm here for it.
Oh man, but
where do we think this show is going? Other than like the obvious, like we're getting Thrawn, possibly an Ezra, like where the fuck have you been? Reveal, are you alive, dead kind of situation. What are the other main points of the show? Like, what are the beats that you think they're going to be hitting?
I think Thrawn will be the catalyst of what gets the Republic back into First Order. That's I think that's the reason they're bringing him in, because he's the reason why First Order takes over. Thrawn was a threat, and he's super freaking intelligent. So I think it's gonna lead to how the First Order really takes over. I think that's the purpose of reintroducing him.
I think with this show we're gonna get a lot of new stuff introduced to try to make everything fresh for Star Wars, because it's already introducing a lot of new stuff, different galaxies. The what was it? They were saying the witches and everything. Talk about the sisters and all that. Yeah, and then they were talking about like damn, you just made me lose my thought. The witches of Dathomir, and then how like an older Jedi, or how like that was all raw over there into their galaxy. So I feel like this is starting to open the door up for a lot of stuff. Like Thrawn is definitely going to be badass, because they've already been we guys have said we've gotten Thrawn in Rebels. We've heard the mention of Thrawn in Mando season 3, and season 2 when Rosario's looking for the map for him. Ahsoka. Well, when it comes down to it, it's like I really think that this whole series is just gonna open.
I don't think you understand, Mike, how much I want this.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
when I first heard Jar Jar Binks was supposed to be the big bad like Sith, I was like, no. And then I like thought about it and kept thinking about it, and I was like, yo, it'd be like the Kaiser Soze moment in Usual Suspects. Yes. I'm fucking here for it. I want this so fucking bad.
Just give us more Ahmed Best.
Dude, it was such a like it's so crazy to think, but then you just do flashbacks of all the times he just happens to be there and happens to fuck something up. And not even like little fuck ups, monumental fuck ups. And I'm like,
you could argue the events of the second movie are basically his fault.
Yes. Yep.
Wasn't that a Robot Chicken episode? I'm just like,
I think it was.
Yeah, like, I just remember like the end, you see like him with a cowl laughing. Yeah,
dude, I want that so fucking badly.
I think everyone.
If we get a dark Jar Jar Binks, I would fucking like just to the rooftop be screaming.
I don't think they could have pulled it off though, because he plays it so goofy. Like the character is made to be so goofy in the beginning. I'm just imagining the scene where he ripped his mask off and say, "Misa been working for the Sith the whole time." Like,
nah, it's gonna
sound like that.
It would be a whole Kaiser Soze, like Usual Suspects. Like, you just see him walking out, bro. Oh my god!
I mean, there's already a link to that. We have Benicio del Toro. That's all I'm saying.
Be like, Misa gonna fuck you up right now because I've been this guy this whole fucking time. It's not like that.
Yo, so hear me out on this one. This is a bit of a stretch, but what I'm looking forward to, since this is technically the animated series crossover with live action, which we've seen in Star Trek, and Star Trek has started introducing like multiverses and alternate timelines, which Star Wars is also starting to adopt. And we had the J.J. Abrams connection, too, with lens flares all over the place. What I'm waiting for is the musical episode.
No, I don't want to see that.
No, we're not getting a musical
Every
episode.
show gets a musical
Please,
episode.
no. Oh my god. Well, to be fair, if anyone could do it, I guarantee, like Rosario, David, like they can, hold their own in that regard.
You just have the Force song, just what this.
Charlie, I'm surprised you're not like knocked out right now, because you have been busting your ass since you wrapped filming.
So
have I watched Naruto? No, I have not. I have not watched Naruto.
So I want to ask, Mark and Pong, weigh in on what you guys feel like. What are you guys looking for with the series? What has you strapped in for the ride?
I would say that what has me strapped in for the ride is that it looks like a good story. I mean, Dave Filoni, I've seen, a lot of the stuff that he's done in the past, and I am on board. It's a Star Wars show. I'm on board for all the Star Wars stuff and all the Marvel stuff. And And so, this is the next thing they're serving me, and I'm definitely here for it. And only the next thing that I'm going to have to do, though, damn it, I'm going to have to finally watch Rebels.
Yeah.
Yes. Watch Rebels. You know what you can do? On Disney Plus, they have like Ahsoka focused episodes from Clone Wars and Rebels that you can just watch that instead of the entire series. That could be your way around it, but it's so worth it if you watch Rebels. I'm just saying.
It's probably going to be my gateway.
Because did you watch Bad Batch?
I started to. I got like 3 episodes in, and I was like,
Bad Batch is one of those shows that like it's a slow burn for some of the episodes, but like especially in season 2, it just has no business being as good as it is. And I know it could be better, but it's like.
But
season 1 is season 1.
It's
okay,
good.
Okay,
It's good.
Okay.
The crazy thing about Bad Batch is in a what is essentially a children's cartoon. You are finding a really good essay on veterans' rights.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. Deep into it, because think about it. The whole premise is here are the clone troopers being phased out in favor of stormtroopers, and how they're getting fucked over by the Empire.
Yep.
It is. It's got depth.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, it's wild how like
and you
that
also
show
see
goes.
the story of Caleb, the main character in Rebels, the Jedi who apprenticed, who was teaching Ezra. So it kind of ties in on how he survived Order 66, and how he ties into the Rebels series as well. It all pieces together so well.
Because he was in the first episode was that guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I know. It's getting crazy with how short these episodes end up being. The further we get in.
You know what though? I will tell you, Sebastian,
it is very slept on.
Go ahead, Mark.
What keeps me engaged with this is that short form though. Like there's so much you can do with the short. Like I love a movie, right? I love watching something, it's done, it's over, right? But there's so much, and just everything on Disney Plus, not just not just the Star Wars stuff, but all the Marvel stuff too.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna watch the whole damn thing, whatever it is, because I know that there's just so much to it, and it'll keep me engaged for a while.
Yeah.
I also feel like what Star Wars should do, since they're doing it with Marvel over there at Disney. Marvel's been doing something called Legends. They already have season 2, and it's a great way to recap characters before they're reintroduced to the world. So it's like it gives you like the list of movies in them, but it recaps their story, which I think is something that Star Wars can benefit from with some of the characters, where it's like, here's a recap. These are some characters. This is stuff that's happened. So those who are like, so it gives people a good jumping on point for characters and new stuff that is coming out, which again, I think it's worked because I would go back and rewatch Marvel Legends before a new Marvel movie comes out, because they'll have a recap of those characters before the new show movie comes out.
I'm okay with short form, but the first 2 were hour long. If it were broadcast TV, 57 and 44 minutes, but which feels like it would be an hour show, not 30 minutes.
You forget commercials. Commercials extend that hour.
Well, yeah, but even so, like, I think at this point I've like just accepted we'll get what we get for certain like Disney shows, because not every episode is going to be an hour long, and even with the credits, it's going to be like 45 minutes out of the 57 minutes that we get, whatever the case is, a lot of the times.
And the other thing, for me personally, when you're done telling the story, you're done. Get off the stage.
Yeah, because honestly, like, if you told a good story, I'm here for it. If you wasted my time with 30 minutes and you needed 15 minutes extra that you should have spent 15 minutes extra, then that's when I'm like, bro, this is too short. Like, what are we doing? But if it's solid, then She-Hulk would have benefited from an extra 10 minutes every so often, or 15 minutes every so often. This, we got, we're getting 33 minutes. So far, we've gotten 2 really good episodes, so I'm not going to be too, very true. Very true.
Right. Depends on where they cut that. They cut that at a good spot at 37 minutes. It feels like it flew by.
Right. And I got so much out of it.
Yeah.
Right. And it leaves you salivating for more.
Right.
The second episode, don't you guys think, like, I can't be alone on this. Don't you guys think that they should have stopped it when Ahsoka was like, take us in, Padawan? Like, that felt like a total, like, credits.
Yeah.
But they had that one extra scene that just kind of like made it.
There you go. We know you low key talking about Invasion. Invasion was another one that could have benefited from a couple extra minutes.
Actually, what could have benefited was The Witcher, but we're not going to get into that because it cut like what was it when they did the part 1 and 2. I was
we're not on Netflix. We're on Disney.
We're gonna
doesn't
nuke
matter.
that one
I'm
from
on
the sky.
shows in
Some of
general.
us haven't been watching The Witcher.
Good for you. Good. I'm glad. Don't do it to yourself.
Take a gun to The Witcher and put it.
You want to watch? Watch Baki. Baki's a better experience for you. Have fun with that.
No, yeah, Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion was okay. It wasn't one of the greatest Marvel shows. It's just there were just little elements to it, so that was just like it left me wanting more. But I enjoyed it for what it was. Out of all the Marvel shows that have come out, She-Hulk was the most disappointing because that last episode had no business being there because I felt it was going somewhere, but then that last episode just
go back to Ahsoka. We're going too far. We're gonna go down this rabbit hole that we always do.
Yo, I think I like She-Hulk because it kind of felt like it was a bit of a, hey, you guys always complain about this shit in the Marvel stuff. Let's do something different. And we know you're going to complain about it, but fuck you, we're going to do it anyway. I
was here for that ride. I was here for that ride all the way to, it was the stuff after the Daredevil episode, which I felt like the Daredevil episode should have been the season final. It was everything that went on in that final episode that completely took me out the series. I was like, wow, you guys had no way of knowing how to end this. That's all it told me. It was like the writing, which is
the final episode doesn't mess up the whole series.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, okay, you're leading up to whatever villain, and then it's like it was the Chad in the whole series. The reveal for Hulk, the reveal for Hulk's son, which was very anticlimactic.
I'll give you that one. That was garbage.
Yeah. I kind of like the whole Kevin thing. I know where they were going with the nod in the comics because
I love that.
She did that to John Bryan in the comics, but I just felt like after that, it's like they were like, okay, we have a show to wrap up. We're just gonna wrap it up like this. I was just like, really? I was like, oh man.
See, I don't mind that, but like Marvel TV has definitely been having a writing issue. I feel like they need to polish their shit up more.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. As a fan of the Secret Invasion comic, the show was a letdown. There was a lot of like, really? That's what you're doing with this? Like, I mean, acting wise, that was top notch. Some of the best, like,
was it
casting
a letdown? Really?
I'm saying the acting was good. The acting was solid. The story arc was a letdown because of how, if you think back about Secret Invasion, how impactful that was.
Right, but you're basing it in comparison to the comic books that have no bearing in the MCU universe.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
It's not
Secret Invasion as a brand should have had more impact than the show did, and it definitely felt like they rushed to a finale when they could have. It needed more room to breathe. Going back to what we've been talking about the length of episodes and the content, it felt like Secret Invasion should have had either a couple of more episodes or have been a plot line that was sprinkled into the movies that then culminated in the show. Almost like if you remember the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, it directly was impacted by the movies. There wasn't as much of that synergy in this show. It was more of like, hey, remember these things, these characters? Yeah, this is what's going on. Yeah, Rhodey was a Skrull. We're not going to tell you how long it's been, because that would have had more impact if you knew how long it's been. Oh, yeah, and by the way, how did these Skrulls end up on Earth? What have they been doing all this time? We're not going to tell you. And, like, to me, like, it would have had more impact if you had a flashback of, like, let's say Rhodey when he got turned, or, you know, to say, oh, yeah, by the way, we got Martin Freeman, you know, back then. Or it felt like it needed a little bit more.
It needed a few more episodes, and it needed more context into how did they lead into their plan, where did it. It's like you get what they were trying to do.
If we're looking back to phase 1, phase 2, where this wasn't necessarily the direction they intended to go, you give too much, you over convolute it, and then it becomes more of a problem to stay with the consistency. I think keeping it as big as it does keeps that question there. We can over speculate, we can think what we want, but do we need all of those answers really?
Well,
but they've done it with other content that they've released.
What?
It would have to
did
me
I miss
like
anything?
Huh?
Did I miss anything?
No. I think we're talking about Secret Invasion.
We've kind of gone in tangents.
Yeah, like
what did we say, guys? Keep it to Ahsoka. We can do this in the green room.
Going back to Ahsoka, who we know is probably not a Skrull right now.
Hold on.
They did a G.I. Joe Transformers combination.
Jack from Ahsoka, Brother Fisher. Oh yes.
When she came back to yes, absolutely.
I was hoping he was still here.
Hugo, are they going to have to go get Thrawn? If so, how long is that travel to a different galaxy? And will there be other politics there, or is the galaxy barren? That is a question for the Thrawn aficionados in the room.
Well, this isn't something that's written for the storyline with Timothy Zahn, because this Thrawn did not disappear this way with Purgle, and Ezra didn't exist in the books. He actually got killed by one of the
Nogri.
Nogri, thank you.
Yeah.
That decided to follow the
Val.
Yeah.
But you read the original Timothy Zahn trilogy, right? You didn't read the second Timothy Zahn Thrawn trilogy. Both. Oh, you read both? Okay. Because I thought the second one he did was supposed to be canon.
The second one he did, it wasn't really. It was someone pretending to be him.
Yep. But that's also
where that's a bummer.
But that's also where they started getting with the clones sub story, because it was a cloned Jedi in that series too, which is why I was thinking that this character might be a clone, or there might be some cloning in the story if this is kind of like tying in Rebels with the heir to the Empire. But
right.
You need to fix something, send in the clones.
Because what they did with Thrawn's story in Rebels is very different from the Timothy Zahn series. Although the character is the same, the character is still very enticing, very good, very intelligent. Like the visual and how he acts and how smart he is on point. But the story of that direction of the character is very different.
Now, I'm aware that the voice actor, Mads Mikkelsen's brother, I forget his name, he is doing the live action version. So being that he's cast, he will show up. And I'm hoping he's not going to be like, okay, he's going to show up in the last episode. He's the Jaws, the shark from Jaws, and that's all we're going to see of him.
Yeah.
I personally think we're going to get a couple episodes with him.
Yeah.
And I'm of the mind that they're probably going to run into him before they get to the galaxy, the other galaxy, because that might open up a whole can of worms.
I think they're going to use the Purgle to get to him. It's the only way that makes sense to try to reach wherever time or galaxy he's in.
Is it Purgle or Purgle?
It's Purgle, I believe.
Is it Purgle? Like it's Purgle like Burgle, not Purgle like
perjury.
Purgle.
We're purgulating.
I had heard it Purgle, but okay, all right.
We're just purgulating.
What are the Virgos? Those are the whales.
The big whales that use
whales.
that they're able to use force sensitivity as well.
I mean, I guess I can't find them too weird, considering in the books there was a force sensitive chicken. So,
well, the Purgle are the key to unlocking hyperspace travel.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't they mention whales before in Star Wars?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got the invention from hyperspace from the Purgle itself.
Oh
yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
I want Space Ahab now. Space White Moby Dick.
Space Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably gonna be the Dark Jedi guy.
Captain Ahab.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for what we're getting with this series. I mean, we got the first two episodes out. Where we got episode 3 starting. Definitely it's tomorrow, and then I mean, I think it's maybe 8 episodes this series.
Mm.
And then, I mean, it's
It's released on Tuesdays.
Oh,
Yeah, it
releases
comes out
on
on
Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
Oh,
9 p.m.
okay.
It's tonight. Oh, Hugo says it's out already.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh shit!
watching it right
So
after this.
we're all gonna get off, watch this after, and drink some beer.
That's-
Okay, let's wrap up. We gotta go. We got shit to watch.
No, but it's like
No,
it's
that's
the
why I
other
was
thing-
like curious. I thought like you had watched tonight's episode, and that's why I'm like, wait, where'd you see that? I'm like, oh, I just missed that part.
No.
No.
The only thing that gets me sad about this is that we probably won't be
Watch that.
getting,
I wish.
we probably won't be getting any Star Wars or Marvel content for a while because again, support of the writers and actors strike. That's actually affecting a lot of production. I
We
mean,
can
there-
always read the books. There's a lot.
Read the books
Yeah.
and support the
Read
writers
books
and
and then watch the old series.
No,
Mhm.
what you need to do is you need to read the books, read Damn Heroes, read We Suck at Comics, and you need to go to follow Wayward Raven over there. And if you're a creator,
Right.
submit your stuff for We Suck at Comics Volume 2.
buy my shit.
We suck too. Suck harder.
That was almost the
We
title.
thought about that. Yeah.
Why not? Why would you just leave it there? Why would you leave that there? Just like Sebastian's handle is Sebastian Bone Tart. Why would you just leave that there?
my
Why would
God,
you not mention it?
I've never seen it, and now I can never unsee it. Oh my
That's how
god!
it is. Sebastian
I'll
Bone
take
Tart,
Sebastian Bone Tart for 100, Alex.
right? What
Oh,
is
now I know
the-
exactly how I'm calling you a cunt.
Oh
Hey,
my
Bone
god!
Tart.
I love you guys. I love you so much.
Oh,
I'm here to help.
That's it. You gave me a new thing for
So-
Pop Tart brand.
before we bring this to a sudden crash and halt, Mark and Alex, where can people find you, and what's the next few conventions that I know you guys are? Apparently, rumor says you guys may or may not be at some con in New York coming up soon. But any other cons planned for the rest of the year?
If
Tell
there's
us about
a
New York.
convention in New York, one would call maybe the New York City Comic Convention. You might find us there.
You don't say.
Mark,
Rhode-
where else are we going to be this
Rhode
year?
Island. After NYCC, we'll be at Rhode Island, and that's probably closing out our year.
Nice.
Alex said something to me that he would track me down and stab me multiple times if I added any more conventions.
Yep.
So I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do it because I'm a dick like that. And I'm
So when you'll find that on YouTube. There'll be a murder of crows.
bring
I
it.
think it's smell a new Damn Heroes comic strip.
We're the sharp objects near me right now just to get ready. I got a 2 X-Acto knives. I can make a Wolverine.
Oh man, but you can find us at waywardraven.com where you can submit your stuff. You can get these beautiful t-shirts.
Coming soon on YouTube. I suck at murder.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's a pretty good premise right there.
I'm here for it.
Speaking of merch, Mark, we've been experimenting with a lot of merch. We got the t-shirts, hoodies. We just got to drop the beanie for when it gets cold. We even, just for shits and giggles, we made a Horseman jigsaw puzzle.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
So definitely check out the shop. All our books, if you don't want to deal with shipping, you can buy them digitally. In fact, we encourage that. It'd probably be easier for everybody. And we got a bunch of freebies on waywardraven.com/freebies.
Yep.
Mark,
follow us.
Yep.
Look underneath.
Follow
here.
all of us.
Follow.
I'm ASAP Can Draw on most of the social medias. Mark is at Panther Pit. We're Wayward Raven or Wayward Raven Media, depending on who owns your social media. And then damnheroes.com for that thing that Sebastian won't shut up about.
Nice. Pong, what you got in store? What are your next shows looking at? And what you got going for us?
Well, coming up in October, we've got a robot fight that is going to be happening in beautiful downtown Salt Lake City, Utah. And if you would like to go watch me prepare for said robot fight, putting together a video rig that is right over there. You can't see it on camera, but you can see it Monday and Friday night at twitch.tv/SynShop. That's SYNSHOP. And that's at on Mondays and Friday nights at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Nice.
That was intentional.
I know. Of course it was.
Specific time.
I feel like you're picking on me.
I would
Just take what? I'm winning the game, by the way.
You're winning the game.
I think I have like 30.
So
God,
he
you're not
thinks
winning.
He's winning because he has the most, but it's me who's winning because I have none. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know how that happened, but yeah.
Listen, you
by
losers.
the skin of my teeth, somehow. Like, oh, listen, I'm just as surprised as anyone else.
It's gonna happen.
Next week, Val, what are we talking? Are we talking next episode of Ahsoka and that's it?
No.
I was not prepared.
I thought you had it up. My bad.
Tag me in, Val.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Next week we have one of our rare open episodes. We're actually gonna be nerds open because you know what? We're just gonna be talking random content. Charlie's gonna be joining us.
Nice.
I'll be back next week.
Oh, Hugo wants to know what's going on in TV land because we didn't get that from our announcements.
Oh. Okay. So, Hugo, thank you so much for joining us last week. By the way, that was an awesome conversation where we were talking about online predators. It kind of comes out weird now, but this week's episode will be more current events. We're going to be keeping up with what's going on in the world, the wildfires in Hawaii, California earthquakes, things of that nature, kind of CNN-ing thing, just to talk about current events. Yeah.
I'd love to talk about that.
Yeah, would you really? Yeah.
No, I would. Yeah.
If you need any updates on the hurricanes going down in Florida, I'll be swimming by there.
yeah, that too. Global warming, the thing.
Guys,
it's a myth. It's a myth.
The world is on fire. Aliens are real. Yo, you see that expensive thing you want to buy? Go buy it. Because who the fuck cares at this point?
Enjoy your life. It's not going to last much longer.
Exactly.
Jeez Louise.
Again, let's make it a thing. Hashtag Alex and his floaties.
Yeah, follow me on social media. I'll be posting pictures of me in my rubber ducky onesies.
There you go. Well, appreciate you guys being back on. Thank you for bringing the chaos that you normally bring, but new levels that we haven't had in a while. Yes, go watch Rebels. Pong, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Tone, we can't wait to have you back when you're home and across the hall and not in the car.
Indeed.
I think he said indeed, and
He
it's
said
No, he said I'm down for a little.
I fucking hate this.
Oh man.
I love you.
We'll catch you guys next week with more of our fucking shenanigans. Have a good night, everybody. Take it easy.
Music. 3, 2.
Bye.